Clown. Hello, everyone. My name is James Strong. This is the SIG Networking Ingress NGINX sub-project meeting. It is January 4th. Happy New Year, everyone. And this is a CNCF sub-project, so that means we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct, which means be kind to each other. If you have any issues, please report those to myself or Ricardo or the CNCF SIG Networking chair, Kubernetes SIG Networking chair. Woo. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I put a little list together. Ricardo, I just wanted to talk mostly about some of our priorities for the year or the upcoming ones. Let me find the right thing. There we go. The first one is 110, obviously, with 125. Can you guys see that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So to talk about that, I know we talked in the past about migrating the OTel image to the community one, so I wanted to add that one in there. Again, just stripping things you don't need to support.
No, so yeah, this is for the NGINX. I did some tests. If you want to just remove that right now, they have the same feature. They have the same compilations problem. So I prefer to stick with the one that SN is maintaining. At least that's my opinion.
Okay. I know you've done the GHCR stuff, so talk about that if we've got time. And then the 2024 goals, I just put the top 3 in there. The Lua, NJS, Rust discussion, control plane, data plane, and then obviously that will get us to the last one, which is Gateway API. So that's really just like the open conversation I just wanted to have. And sorry, we skipped over welcoming the new members. Hassan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Asan, and apologies for the look. It's actually night here in Pakistan. So I have been using Kubernetes for around like 7 years or 6 years from afar, like just as a user. But now I really want to contribute and learn in the process as well, like the behind the scenes stuff of Kubernetes. So that's my intention, to basically work with you guys and maybe contribute in some day in any capacity I can.
Okay.
Nice.
I've got a couple ideas.
Sure.
Ricardo, I had an idea of having folks be like image owners, since we've got like 4 or 5 different images, because I just noticed that the webhook is not up to date. The webhook's our image, so I think that would be helpful if we had like people who are image owners. So that's something we might be able to discuss.
And by the way, specifically that one, I try to donate to some SIG, to Kubernetes cluster lifecycle, but they say, yeah, we don't want to maintain another image. So yeah, that's up to us.
Yeah. I was just going through old images issues, and somebody was complaining about WebCert being out of date and having CVEs. So yeah. Okay, well, great to meet you, Hassan. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
Likewise.
Yeah, feel free to correct me. I'm terrible at language, especially English. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the action items and issue triage since we've got short time, Ricardo. With you. So 110. I saw you did a bunch of stuff over the holiday break. Did you get 125 working?
Yeah. So those are the good news. If you take a look into the tests, the end-to-end is working, but OpenTelemetry, which right now I have removed it because we are building it separate from the image, so we need a separate building for that. Because OpenTelemetry build is actually slow as well, but probably actually it is tied to NGINX version. I think that right now I was hoping to discuss with Hassan to bring it back to the compilation, at least for this image, so we don't get blocked into that. And maybe remove that split if it works. Otherwise, we will need to generate the OpenTelemetry image also with NGINX 125, which is fine. So we can have the compilation of both of them separate, like 121, 125, push them to the registry, tag them with different tags, and just tell the users like use the right one. Like if you are on version 1.9, you should be using OpenTelemetry with NGINX version 121. Otherwise 125. It's more like a pain to do all of these correlations on the end-to-end tests and the other things. But other than the OpenTelemetry, everything, including mod security and all of the other things, they are working. The tests they have passed. So my plan for that next, it's to keep it as a separated image right now, because if we need to cherry pick something to version 1.9, we don't want to have that mess of like breaking the word again, right? And see if we can have this image for version 1.10 on a new branch soon, at least like as an alpha or something like that. So people can start testing with NGINX version 1.25. So my plan for the weekend, it's mostly taking care of the things that are missing and doing that, which brings to the other subject, which is GACR testing. So I've been doing some tests on GACR. It's working. I'm not sure if people is going to be happy with me, but it's working.
You said
so
GitHub?
It's GitHub, yeah.
Okay.
Some images, they are on GitHub registry. I was establishing some pipelines for that. So my plan is actually to, at least for the experimental version of 125, get it as soon as it gets merged, even if we don't do all of the other things. But my plan is, okay, it's working. We are just, commenting or doing something to not test OpenTelemetry. So making a slow, what I want to do right now is make a slow change, a small change, an unimpactful change that we can always keep testing this experimental image. And as soon as it's merged, it gets published. We run the multi-architecture build and push it to GACR. So it's going to be on GACR. It's not going to be on the registry, on Kubernetes registry anymore. At least the intermediate image. The final ones, they are going to still stick with the Kubernetes registry.kubernetes.io, right? The idea is just like that. We don't have the burden on the intermediate images promotion.
This is the NGINX base image, right?
Yeah, that's right. And and all of the other ones. So end-to-end test runner, it's the next thing that I'm going to affect, because I don't know why we need that image if we keep rebuilding that on the CI. So
those don't need to be in the official registry. Those are just our testing images.
Yeah, the echo test and all of them, we don't need them on the registry, and we don't need the promotion burden. So as soon as this works with the experimental one, maybe I can start with something smaller, like getting one of those random images like echo, CF, SSL, or something like that, some of them. Moving their build to local to JCR the way that we did with the NGINX one, but making it smaller. And as soon as it gets merged, having a GitHub action that pushes it to JCR on the tag that we are setting. So yeah, that's my my goal. Okay.
Okay. Really, that's just requiring us to switch the cloud builds to GitHub action builds, right? For most of those images?
Yeah. Mostly it's stopping using. Actually, the cloud build can be there. We don't care, so we can live with them in parallel, right? Because the cloud build, it's just the way that the Docker, the Kubernetes test suite gets and does whatever it needs to be done on the pro side, on the post merge side, right? What they're gonna do is that this image is gonna be built twice. One is on the cloud build side, and one is on directly as a GitHub action on our side. So as soon as this is ready, what we can do is start removing the post submit jobs for those things on Kubernetes test infra side, right? So they can live together. On our side, what we can do is just like do a Docker build against the Docker file, and it's just gonna work.
It's just gonna work. I like that.
Yeah, it's like the less famous words, right? It's just gonna work, and then yeah, everything blows. We break everyone's cluster. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Sorry, folks.
If there's anything I can help with that, let me know. I think if we're gonna change something like that, that's not gonna affect the end image. And that's gonna be that's not gonna impact end users. So I don't know if we need to do a beta release for 110. Unless you want to, because it's a new NGINX version.
Yeah. I surely do for for this one, but this is so. Yeah, so maybe what I should do, what we should do right now, James, it's maybe open an issue to start migrating the intermediate images to GACR. Make sure that it works. Have Carlos and some other folks that knows GitHub Actions reviewing to see if I'm not doing anything stupid, and then we do migrate the experimental image. At least we published that, right?
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah, just don't let me forget.
Spelled intermediate wrong. Find feature. Okay. What is my keyboard doing? My fingers don't know how to type. RPCAF, there you are. Because I can never remember the name. And I'll list those out later.
Okay, and maybe with the owners of the images later, we can fix that on the GitHub and getting people actually to review also the GitHub Actions. This is something that I need some help because I keep thinking that I'm doing stupid things with GitHub Actions and they could be simpler.
Okay.
So yeah.
They could always be simpler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're low on time. Well, you're low on time. We got 12 minutes. I don't think we're going to be able to discuss all of these in 12 minutes. After 125, the 110. Because I think you do one, Ricardo. I think this is what we should do. You do one with the NGINX image that gives other people the model, and then we can open up later images to migrate them from Cloud Build to GitHub Actions, and then ask the community if folks want to do that, because that's a really good first issue. That also opens you up to go back to the control plane, data plane stuff.
Yeah, I want to do with some simpler image than the base, because the base one is going to be complicated. That's okay. My only reasoning, right? Yeah, okay. My only reasoning it's that one. Sorry.
That's fair. I don't want you to do all of them, was what I was trying to get at.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay. Cool. Because then we can move into this discussion. Because I know where we were at with, you had the gRPC stuff, because you had you're staging everything to be separated. But the gRPC stuff was an issue. We wanted to move to HTTP REST. But we still needed the secure communication.
Yeah, so this one, so I got some talks with you and Tim Hawking on that, right? And I think that we maybe can simplify and start with your proposal, which is like splitting on the same pod, having those two containers running together, right? And this is doable. I have started doing that, so, but then I have started to figure out that some files they were being replaced by the controller. So that's why I put before that pull request of like, hey, can we have everything that's controller that's managed by Ingress controller on a specific directory that we can control, which is /etc/Ingress controller, and then just having the configuration on another one, and it's done, right? So after that, my plan is to do the control plane data plane, but before going full into the this split deconstructed architecture, doing whatever you propose of having like those two running on the same place, but having the controller just generating the configuration on the shared directory for the data plane and the other files should work, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that could be a good intermediate, because I would think that'd be like, what do you think? 111 and 112? Because if we're doing the cadence of a release a month because of CVEs, you think 111, 112?
I think 112.
112.
I would
Okay,
say
that's
that maybe on 111 we can get it, but to be really honest with the lack of time that I have, I wouldn't make any
I know.
promise or blockers on that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to try to focus you. That's it. Because I know we also have the other one, I don't want to keep adding to this list, but the SSL termination. There's that one, right, too. That's the other big feature that we
Yeah, and this we will need to use NJS. I have written that on NJS, and it's working. But yeah, you know, one thing at a time. We still need the version 125 released before.
Okay, that's required. Okay. All right. I forget. Did we have Brendan put the list together of the NJS of the Lua functionality? I don't know where that got placed.
I think he started. I don't think he finished it.
Okay, I'll ping him and see if I can find it. Because if not, that's the thing that I think we need to start looking at, like seriously, is like what's the functionality that we're getting from Lua, and which one has the bulk of replacing it, and then slowly start peeling off features, and then just start working through that piece. And it already sounds like NJS is the because I don't want to do a mix of both NJS and Rust, because then that just adds another piece to the
Oh,
CV.
I'm not gonna use Rust for anything.
Okay.
I was looking into that. Right now it's too complicated. I don't think they are moving with Rust, while they are moving with NJS. So I can see some movement on NJS. I can't see any movement on Rust.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put this in here for me. Cool. So we talked about that, and really we can't get to Gateway API till we have the control plane data plane split. So I'm not even gonna put that in the discussion. Anything else, Ricardo, that we need to discuss with you?
So on the Gateway API, I think that we could start doing something. But I would like if Gentile can to start that, because we still need the controller, and we still need to start converting all of the model of Gateway API to the internal model that we have on Ingress NGINX, right? So on our controller, we generate in the end something that's going to be rendered on NGINX, which is like the front end, the back end, all of the endpoints and the certificates, right? And this thing won't change. It's an internal information that we use to render the templates. So I think that we could probably start doing some experiments to make the controller to make like a Gateway API controller that gets all of the all of those customer services, HTTP route, and all of those things, and convert into the NGINX model, right?
I don't think I have Gentile's email in here. Okay.
It's
Yeah, I should-
gentile.zang.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a lot to do.
And I'm specifically calling for Gentile to do that because I know that he implemented that for the API 6, the other
The
controller that he used it to
request
work
that
for.
he's working on. Okay. Sounds good. And then I'll just keep on keeping on with releases. All right. Well, I'm gonna go back through the images. I'm gonna put a proposal together about image ownership, and then we can probably set that up so that folks can start being reviewers for the images. I need to outline like the image promotion process a little cleaner. So I think I'm gonna put together a document for image ownership and then put it out there on Twitter and the DevRail mailing list and see if we get folks who want to, like Hassan here, to take ownership of those images for us. Yeah, I like that because that's
Yeah.
a good first, like helping maintain things for us and taking some things off of our plates.
Yeah, we need at least I think that we need a help for something that we are missing, and it's not about code, but also helps getting us on track, which is doing the triage of the issues, right? Our issue queue is just growing. I am really not looking at that for reasons.
Yeah,
But
I know.
last time I have entered into that, I saw that thing getting really big, right? So it's really a call out, like, Hassan, if you can start helping us with something that you know, and there is really no need to like. We use that on SIG-Network as well, right? On the meetings, like doing triage on an issue doesn't necessarily represent that you need to get a solution for people, but doing tests and saying like, yeah, I could reproduce that. So yeah, this is accepted. This is maybe a problem. This may be a bug, and then bring that to us. Maybe if you want to try fixing that, that's amazing. We can help you with that. But there is no really real responsibility, because some of them, they are just support, and we try to avoid support questions on the issues, but we also try not to be jerks with people, like, hey, this is a support question, this is documentation, if you have more questions, just come to Slack and ask us, just go to whatever forum, because then we can keep the QE slow with real bugs and feature requests, right? But if you can help us with that, it's amazing as well. I think that's I don't want to scare you, so don't get any pressure to do that. Just bear in mind that this helps us a lot as well.
Sure. Looking forward to it. Like, yeah, like I said, anything that I can contribute with, so happy to do so.
Yeah, and if you need something like, hey, I need some Zoom, but your time is late, can some of you jump earlier? I am in Brazil, so I am like it's 1:30 p.m. for me. It's easier as an example, so we have this thing of time zone. So if you have any questions, I'm slow answering Kubernetes Slack right now, but I can take look from time to time to help you with something as well. Okay.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
James, I need to drop in 1 minute. What's
I was just gonna go into triage and continue doing what I was doing before the meeting. So really, I want to write that down. I like the images idea. Are we ready for? Oh, you said we got to remove the hotel stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue doing some image triage.
Okay. One last subject. I have copied you and Gentile on an email. I have asked for a machine on the open mainframe. so we can do the builds of S390 there, or at least try and say like it works or it doesn't work. But with my latest image, it worked with everything, including S390. So we don't have the argument of dropping that right now, right? Because it's working. They have, after 7 years, it was able to merge the Lua bug fixes. But just to keep this on your radar, okay?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, I'm gonna drop, folks. See ya.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, we're just gonna continue working through the images.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hassan, if you want to keep with James, if he's just gonna do some triage and he doesn't mind, you can do the triage. Unless James wanna do the triage by himself. Sorry, James.
no, it's fine.
Thank you. I would love to be on call and like see how you are doing. If it
Sure.
works, it works by you.
Where's the button I'm looking for?
Hey,
Bye,
I'm
Ricardo.
dropping. Bye.
Am I the? You made me co-host. Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for joining.